begin to glow. Classics on the timetable, but how far can we go? Then lightning hits the Wi-Fi, the lesson comes alive. AI steps in like Roman 509 with a toga and a drive. Salve Magistrar, it grins with a spark, ready to light up this world with a digital arc. Quizzes like arrows, fast and precise, turning questions into games in the blink of an eye. Pictures like frescoes, vivid and bold, even Cicero's impressed. This never gets old. Comic strips of Sappho, yeah, now it's our turn. Visualizing Sparta with graphics that burn. Mind maps like mosaics, branching out like vines. Diagrams of battlefields in neatly labeled lines. Rephrasing Greek rhetoric, feedback with a roar. Your essing sharp, but bringing Demosthenes more. From ancient ruins, we rise like Athena. Revision turned anthem, Minerva's a dreamer. Not just machines, it's a brand new tool to breathe life in the past and make classics cool. Summarizing empires in a 2-minute vid, help with understanding Virgil like a whiz kid. Turning poetry to rock songs, rhymed and raw. Now Horace hits harder than ever before. What would Plato say if he saw the spark? A cave turned to cinema, we've lit up the dark. Not replacing the past where its newest voice with stylus or stylus pen, it's all still a choice. Julius tweets, Ovid rhymes, AI is the agora of modern times. We don't worship the code, but we use it wise to make the myths rise. Scripts and mind maps, timeline so clean, a Spartan's dream in a learning machine. Essays with feedback, songs full of lore. Revision becomes a gladiator's roar. In the classical classroom where legends unfold, AI brings the stories back in pixels and gold. Pixel and gold. Rome reborn, bold. AI and the ancients. The future is old. Yeah, the future is old. Is old.
I just don't trust it. All this AI business in the classroom, it's lazy. No rigor, no respect for the texts. What happened to real learning? Who says it isn't real? I used it to revise the Odyssey. It broke down the key episodes and themes without spoon-feeding. Made me go back to the text with sharper questions.
Right, so it holds your hand now.
No, it prompts me. Same with the Aeneid. I asked it how Pietas is shown across different books, and it flagged up ideas I'd missed. I didn't copy anything, it just helped me think deeper.
Okay, but apart from helping you understand epic themes, explain Athenian democracy, decode Augustus' imperial image, analyze coin inscriptions, create flashcards from the Res Gestae, quiz you on rhetorical techniques, build revision timetables, and offer essay structure suggestions, what has AI really done for students?
It helped me test arguments. I gave it my essay plan on how Augustus uses art to shape public image. It challenged one of my points, so I tightened the analysis. That's learning, isn't it?
Yeah, but some people just ask it to write the whole essay for them. Submit it like it's their own. That's not learning, that's fraud with a fancy heading. Sure, and that's a misuse of the tool. You can plagiarize with a textbook too. Doesn't make the scroll guilty. Still feels like a slippery slope.
Only if you let it be. Most of us are using it to push our thinking. It's like arguing with a tireless, slightly robotic tutor.
Next thing you'll be telling me Pericles used it to write the funeral oration.
Oh, absolutely. Stood up in front of the whole assembly, cleared his throat, then quietly whispered, generate speech, inspirational, high register, democratic values, mention the dead.
Probably had it print out bullet points on ostraca.
Hey, if it helped him nail the message, who's complaining?
Alright, maybe it's not the collapse of civilization. Just, as long as we're still the ones doing the thinking.
Exactly. It's not here to replace us. It's here to remind us how much more we can do, if we ask the right questions and give detailed prompts.
Still not letting it write my Augustus essay.
Great, that's the spirit of the Roman Republic.
The most important thing is that whatever the teaching method, the ancient world marches into the future. Yes, but I think this background is showing us that it still can't spell correctly. Some way to go yet.
Show you how to summarize the document. So it's over here, add photos and files, click on that. Open up the bit that says add photos and files. There you go, and it will take me into this here, which is Klein Aeneid 1. So I'm going to summarize Aeneid 1, and I'm going to click on that and then open that, and then that should appear there. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the prompt that I gave, and I'm going to put it in there. Okay, I'm a teacher of classical civilization working with students aged 16 to 18. Summarize an uploaded document clearly and concisely. The document contains material that I want to turn into a revision resource for my students. Summarize the key points into accessible academic language appropriate for this age group. And then all I need to do is click that there. And then it will spit this back at me. Now I look at that and I think, it's not quite what I want. Maybe I'd like a little bit more detail than that. It's a little bit too general for me anyway. Please add more detail. That's all I'm going to do. Click. There we go. So it's giving me a lovely summary there of Aeneid Book 1. So what I did was I took that summary in 10 points and I copied and pasted it into a Word document, and I'll show you how to do that at the end of this next prompt. So I'm just literally going to find that again, add photos and files, summary in 10 points of Aeneid Book 1, and open up that document. Then I'm going to copy and paste the prompt that we need to create a script out of this for students. And I'm going to use this with 2 voices. You could do it with 3, you could ask it to do it with 4. It's just obviously just change the prompting, so I'm just going to copy and paste into there. So use the 10 bullet points summarising the document to write a script for student-made educational video. The video will be performed by 2 student actors, could be 3, could be 4, who will present the material in an engaging and informative way. The tone should be clear, age appropriate, and slightly conversational while maintaining academic accuracy. There we go. Let's click on that and see what it comes back with. Right. Near Book 1, Epic Beginnings. 2 students, Act 1 and Act 2, standing in front of a whiteboard. Oh, how exciting. With visuals or props related to ancient Rome and the Trojan War. And then, there we go. You can see this is quite, it's informative, it's fun. And you can see down here, before I forget, there's that thing that you could just click on the bottom there and then go open up a Word document and paste it in. But look, that was quite a bland one. So I'm now going to modify the script slightly. Please create a Gen Z language version of this script. So we're going to have a bit of fun with it and see what's going to happen. So 2 students in casual clothes now. The whiteboard is still there. This time it's got doodles of Greek gods, a storm cloud, a ship, and a Roman eagle. Okay, what's up? Yo, everybody, we're unpacking Book 1 of Virgil's Aeneid. Think of it as ancient fan fiction with gods, storms, and sometimes, there we go, main character engine, energy. There we go. Okay, and as I say, you could do that. But let me show you one that was done by my students earlier. It's always more fun to see this in reality, isn't it?
For Carthage's future, bloody Trojans.
Go and stop.
Aeneas, the Trojans.
Alright then. Cease thy pitiless precipitation. I decree it.
My father, why have you cast my son to such misery?
Destiny. Go message. Mummy.
No, I'm not.
You're a god.
No, I'm not.
You're a god.
No, I'm not.
You're a god.
No.
Okay.
Right, here's what's useful. Welcome to Carthage.
Thank you.
What happened to Troy?
Well, I'm actually signing copies of it.
Lovely job, mate.
Yo fam, get ready for the ultimate skibbity toilet level journey, Aeneas' epic travel adventure. We're talking insane vibes, ghost drama, main character energy.
Strap in, this trip's got more plot twists than a TikTok conspiracy theory.
Kicking things off in Thrace. Aeneas is like, yo, let's build a sick new city here.
The tree stopped bleeding and giving off serious negative aura.
Then this ghost dude, Polydorus, shows up like, bruh, this place is so sus, bounce before you get ghosted too.
Next up, Delos. Aeneas pulls up to the oracle like, yo Apollo, where's the promised land?
So they hit Crete like, new home unlocked, but surprise, this place is cursed AF. Plague rolls in like it's the zombie apocalypse.
Then the gods slide into Aeneas' DMs, aka dreams, like, oops, wrong stop, your destiny is Italy, fam.
Next up, they hit the Strophides Islands in search of a sweet treat. But these harpies, aka flying Karens, appear out of nowhere. Solano curses them like, you'll reach Italy, but you'll be so hungry you'll eat the tables. Bruh, skibbity bop vibes.
Down in Epirus and meet Helenus, who's got his own Troy 2.0 going on.
Sicily's a whole horror show. They meet Achaemenides, Dudes like run now, so they barely escape with their lives. Imagine being mogged by a beta like that.
Now we're in Japanum and things like a dark turn. Anisa's dad dies and the mood goes full on emo. Like, if you're into tragic backstories, this is the place for you.
Finally, they pull up in Carthage, and let's just say sparks are flying. Aeneas meets Queen Dido, an absolute baddie.
So if you're ready to live life on extreme mode with curses, skibbity toilet energy, and wild ghost appearances, Aeneas Adventure is the trip for you.
Level up, fam.
Let's have a look at how to create a quiz. This is actually quite simple, and then I'll show you how to put it into Microsoft Forms. So we're going to go back and find that file again. So it's add photos and files. And then we're going to find that summary in 10 points of Aeneid 1. We're going to open that up. There it is, it's connected there. And then we're going to take this prompt here, how to create a quiz. And I'm going to put that in there. There we go. And here is a multiple choice quiz based on a 10-point summary of the Aeneid. Down she goes. And then right at the very bottom, you've got an answer key. There you go. That's it, pretty much. Less than 60 seconds. How to turn that quiz into well, I'm going to import it into Microsoft Forms. It can be imported into all sorts of things, really, but here's how to do it into Microsoft Forms. So at the very end there, you've got the answer key, and then hopefully you can see you've got the copy and paste bar right at the very bottom. So I choose that, copy, and then I go into the blank document, choose a blank document, and then we're going to paste that. Now, right at the very top of the bottom, you never need this junk at the top. Here is a multiple choice quiz, so I'm getting rid of that. Now, before I upload this, I need to get rid of this answer key at the very bottom, because MS Forms doesn't need that bit. We'll need it later. So I'm just going to save that as Aeneid 1 quiz. Okay, now, so I'm going to save that into the place I save absolutely everything. I shouldn't give you these secrets away, but I do. And as you can see, that's my downloads folder. I just know everything goes into downloads. So, right, so I'm just going to save it into there. And as you can see, we now have this Word document. And that's just prep, really, for putting it into Microsoft Forms. So to put it into the Microsoft Forms format and make this really easy, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google. Now, it's important that you use the online browser, not the sort of general browser. You have to use the online browser for this. And I'm just going to click on MS Forms there, Microsoft Forms. And if you can see that bit that says Quick Import there, just clicking on that, upload from this device. Aeneid 1 quiz, open that, click on quiz, and then it will just convert it into a quiz, which hopefully you can see has turned up down here. Now, as you can see, this isn't actually going to mark until we give it these bits here, the actual letters or numbers, or say what's right or what's wrong. So literally just click on that box. How does Virgil introduce Aeneas in the prologue of Aeneid Book 1? as a Trojan, what fated to found the Roman race? Well, what was our answer there? What did it tell us to look for? So hopefully you know that we can go back here, or at least, haha, got that one wrong. We can go back to having a look here. So it's looking for question C. Which one is it? So question C is a Trojan hero, and then give it the point, and then literally just work your way all down those, and you've got yourself a multiple choice quiz that could be imported pretty much anywhere. The one thing I will say with these quizzes, ChatGPT is only ever as good as the information you give it, so this isn't going to be too bad, because if you remember rightly, I started with my own notes, which I got directly from the A.S. Klein translation. So I've given it reliable information to start with. Always check the multiple choice answers as well. Just make sure that they're right. You can. So let's have a look at creating some flashcards. Again, very simple technique here. So as you can see, I've uploaded my summary in 10 points for Neared 1, which I created originally, and then I'm going to go and find my prompt, which is this one here. I'm a teacher of Class Civ. Create a set of flashcards based on the 10 bullet points summarizing the documents, etc. And I'm just going to go back to chat, paste that in. There you go. So 10 revision point flashcards. Flashcard 1. What's the opening theme of the Aeneid? Who's the central hero? Poem begins by Song of Arms and the Man. And to be honest, that can be copied and pasted into Quizlet. If you've got the free version, just this, or it can actually be downloaded and imported if you've got the sort of paid for version of Quizlet as well. In maps, I'm going to show you how to create maybe a formula for a particular mind map, and then I'm going to show you how to create it electronically. So I'm going to click on this bit that says add photos and files there, and I'm going to go back into my favorite area, my downloads, and find that summary in 10 points yet again. Open that up, and then I'm going to find my little prompt. Here it is, create a mind map with ChatGPT. So all this will do to start with, use the 10 bullet points summarizing the document to create a mind map structure. This mind map will help students visually organize and connect key ideas from the summary. It should be grouped into main themes or categories relevant to civilization. Okay, click on that, and it's just going to create this. So thematic core, you could ask if you wanted to, not just for themes, you could ask for characters, studies, or something like that. So you can see it's done quite a nice little pattern here. Talks about divine intervention in Nid 1, fate and prophecy, heroism and leadership. That's great, yeah. And you could just get students to, do that by hand. They like drawing and things like that. I think that's quite useful. Let me just show you how to create an electronic version of this. So I'm now going to ask it to produce a mark map. Okay, and then here we go. Here's the mark map formula. Now, you can see that's looking a little bit intimidating. It's got all these strange little hashes and dashes and asterisks on it. And that's because it actually belongs to something that you can take into another program. So if you go over here, you can see this. It's just literally, I've gone into a browser, typed into browser try mark map, click on that, and you can see what it's going to produce. It's going to produce something like this. I don't need all of that there. So here we go. My title is Aeneid, oops, book one. And then I am now going to go back into there and copy that. Go back to mark map and paste all of that. So there you go. It produces that. So we can either download that if we want to as an active HTML, which will open that up, and you can save it like that. Um, or you can also, if you would, to save it like that, or you could, if you wanted to download that as an SCG file, open that file. And to be honest, there are programs you can find. ChatGPT would do it if you just uploaded that into ChatGPT and then told it to create a PDF or something like that. So from here, you could then illustrate it if you wanted to have done that, or create a JPEG file, a picture file, or something like that. So, as I say, that's how to create it electronically. Okay, if that method of creating my maps is a little bit fiddly, and I can acknowledge that it might be a little bit fiddly, uh, I've got a lovely little website I discovered the other day, and it's absolutely free. So you can see here that I've created that mind map structure, but not created the mind map at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that structure down here into a Word document. And if I click on that there, uh, do the top and the bottom again, topping and tailing it, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, now I'm just going to copy it here, copy, and then I'm going to go to this wonderful little site, which is, it's called mindmapwizard.com. And you can see there, mindmapwizard.com. It does turn up down here. There it is, AI Mind Map Maker. And I am just going to take that I've created, copy and paste it into there. All free, open source, and skippity boppity boo. Eventually, there it will come there with that. And then, as you can see, it can be share my map link. You can copy the link, or you can download the link in JPEG or PDF format. That's good. Markdown if you want that as well. So that works marvelously. And that was what, 2 minutes to create a mind map that looks like that. That's incredible. We're going to think now about illustrating something in comic book format. So we're back to the summary of 10 points of the Aeneid that we created right very far back. And I'm now going to go and take this prompt. And this prompt is actually going to produce bullet points summarizing the document into a short comic book script. So there we go. I'm just going to pop that in there. It's going to ask it to create a comic book script with panel descriptions, character dialogue, and approximately one panel per bullet point. Okay. So this is where it's going to kick back at me. Aeneas begins his journey, panel one, scene, characters, narrator. Okay, so this is actually going to produce a panel for each of the 10 summary bullet points. It's perfectly good. And do you know what? You could just stop there and tell the students to draw that if drawing is their thing. That's absolutely fine by me, as long as the text is read and they've kind of understood it. However, if you want to use this to create a comic book, you just literally take this one to. I'm actually going to do this purely because it prefers to deal with things in fours. If you ask it to do all 10 panels together, it won't come out very well. It'll only give you two, maybe 3 panels, and it'll all be a bit mixed up. So create a comic book version of this, and I'm going to just just copy and paste that in there, all 4 panels. And obviously what we would then do is to do that, and then you can see it will start working. It will take a little while to create something. I'll show you, rather than wait for that, I'm going to show you on the next slide what it ultimately looks like. Introduce you now to my absolutely favorite AI tool. I use this almost every day. I have a lot of students who are very, very bright, and they like reading, and they can access a lot of very difficult academic texts. And I have, students that really do struggle to process academic text. So I try and make sure there's a lot of illustrations and graphics in what I do. So this is called Napkin AI. Napkin AI, and it's designed. I'll show you exactly what this does. It basically just creates graphics out of various things. So I'm going to go back and find that summary in 10 points again. Um, you could use anything you like. I've used quite detailed text. One of my favourite things is using my own A-level textbook by Kerry and Scollard to, history of Rome, show them just how, uh, you know, times have changed really. Anyway, there you go. I have just gone into Napkin AI and I have just copied and pasted something. And here I want to choose this little bit here. And I'm now going to create a little graphic out of it. Okay, so as you can see, it's just that little area there that I've highlighted, and Uses Thunder has appeared on this side, and it's called Generate Visuals. And so I'm just going to click that, and then watch what happens here. So there we go. You can choose any of these things here. That may not suit what you want to do. So you might choose the introduction of ideas, Juno's anger, Juno's interference, show a progress in that direction. A little bit more detailed there. Juno's wrath, divine anger towards the Trojans, prophecy of Rome, future destruction of Carthage, Roman foundation. I say this, it's pretty endless, actually. This may be a little bit more straightforward, and then if I click on it, it gives me the option to put various colours on this or something like that. The other thing I really, really like about this is if there's something you want to change or you want to add, you just click in there and go, this is a message. So, what I'm trying to say is you can add your own detail if you want. And that's Napkin AI. Now, over here, it gives you the option to download all of this as a PDF. So once you've gone through each one of these, and you can see, you could just do that, couldn't you, for all of them really? Prologue and Conflict, Juno's Scheme and the Storm. There we go. Oh, there we are. Choose that. Zeus Thunders, and then just choose a slightly different graphic there. I think it's amazing, and that they're totally free, and really, really helpful for students that prefer to have visuals for them. These sort of one-step processes. I say really quite fun because you can use any text you like. One of the things I've actually done with this is I've got some quite heavy academic texts, taken it into ChatGPT, and then I've asked them to simplify the language and then create a series of bullet points, taken it into Napkin, and then illustrated it for students. And it can be done within seconds, really. Years I've been working on a degree, totally different subject area, but nevertheless. And this came out in the last year or so, and it completely changed the way that I studied. So it's called Notebook LM, and it's free, and it's part of the sort of Google suite, and it enables you to organize your documents as long as they're saved in PDF format. It enables you to create mind maps, and it enables you to create podcasts. So let's dive into how we do this. Here we are, Notebook LM. Create new, upload the source that you want. I'm going to upload Klein. That's the full chapter of Aeneid Book 1, and you can see it will appear here. And to be honest, you can add as many sources as you like, and the more sources you get, uh, the more you can explore those, and you can see down here you can ask a number of questions. So if you've got 6 sources about Livia, and you want to ask about Livia's lack of head-on coinages or something like that, um, then of course you can just sort of type in there, and that will show you. Actually, it'll give you little uh, tell you exactly which document it's in, and where it is. So it's so useful when you're doing a degree and you're sort of trying to look for that awkward reference and you've forgotten where it was. So the other thing that this will kind of do here, you can see you can add notes to various things if you wish. It will produce a study guide for you, and it will produce a timeline, frequently asked questions. The most exciting bit, I think, is over here. So let's have a quick look at that study guide, little quiz for students, little summary, essay format questions, glossary of key terms. I mean, wow, that is not bad for free. But over here, you can actually sort of click on this bit that sort of says generate, and it will generate a conversation between two people to discuss what the documents or the overview. Say you've got 6 or 7, it might give you an overview or something. So all you have to do is click that, and then you can see over here it's actually created this podcast called The Arrival of Aeneas. I'll just play a little bit of that for you.
Well, a foundational story, isn't it? The epic voyage of Aeneas. from Troy all the way to Italy.
That's right. We're using Book 1 of Virgil's Aeneid as our main source text here. And
So there you go. This you can see is 34 minutes of that. It's not reading it directly off the screen. It's kind of having a little conversation about what they think is going on. And I think that's where I find that a little bit problematic. It is very much these two American accents discussing what they're finding out about the things they've uploaded. There's less control on this, I think, is what I don't particularly like about that. But nevertheless, for overviews, factual notes, great. I use it to sort of upload 2 or 3 documents, ask a question, create overviews maybe of women in Minoan Greece. Say I've got several documents on that, and then if you want to find out an overview, click on the button and you've got that. Great for revision.
Hello and welcome to our podcast. It is designed to help students revise for the imperial image component of classical civilization.
In the
To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. For what is the worth of human life, unless it is woven into the life of our ancestors by the records of history?
Omnia vincit amor, et nos cedamus amori. Or, love conquers all, let Stati Uniti to yield to love.
Price, though your hands are clean. The smoke still clings to what's unseen. Temples cracked, gods cast aside. Now they watch from where they hide. South, while civil war kissed every mouth in mouth. She learns to dance the Grecian way. She does and thinks it's fine. She rises, winks, then disappears to sell her name for foreign cheers. A peddler's coin, a captain's ring. Shame bought cheap for anything. Men who fought the Punic Sea Humans don't speak. They only watch and read and weep.
Have I played my part well? Then applaud me and dismiss me from the stage of life.